Get a Job in Tech, episode 113. We're going to continue on with our How to Get Started in Tech. This time I want to talk about social media. I have the social media account, right? I have all these accounts, right? And here's the reason why, right? Nobody knows you. Nobody knows who you are. What information do you have? Social media. Nobody knows your backstory. Nobody knows what you've done, right? You have a resume, and that's it, right? And so, how do you separate yourself from your competition? Right? You become proactive in social media, meaning, okay, let me Let me talk about a couple, right? So the first one is obviously a YouTube channel. That one is really critical for everybody to have a YouTube channel, and of course they're free to set up, right? And the one thing about YouTube, right? I don't know yet. I haven't made money on it yet, so I don't know. But I have heard this: the algorithm, whatever it talks about, right? It's 10 minutes long, and people monetize after 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, right? And so, if you have content on what you do, for instance, you're just getting started out, right? Maybe you work at McDonald's, right, or Kmart, or Hardee's, or Walmart, or wherever, right? And you getting started out. So you creating a YouTube channel and you saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get started in tech, or whatever you want to do, or you're just starting and getting into tech, and you're documenting your journey. You're documenting what you're doing in tech through that YouTube channel. Usually, what happens is it's every three days. Let's see, every week. What is it? 3 times a week, I think. Post, and then there's some kind of algorithm or something that keeps it going. Not really sure how that works, but I do know this much. There's a program called vidIQ, and you can download it and plug in. Or I used to have it actually. It's like $10 a month. And what it does is it says your keywords. This is your keywords, how it rates, and what they tell you about is they audit your channel and they say, okay, like for instance, mine was like, you don't have enough words in your description. You don't have enough word tags. Mine was like Commvault and IT jobs and all that, right? You didn't have enough of those. End stream. You got to have more than 2 end streams, and then you also should attach it to more than 2 playlists. I don't want to get too overwhelm anybody who's not on YouTube right yet, and just kind of, okay, you got to do it now. No, don't do all that. Just start with one thing. Look, most people have a Facebook account, right? We know that. So start there. Just document your journey, right? And if you want to get thumbnails, or you want to create like some sort of what do you call it, a picture, right? There's a program website, right, called Canva, CANVA.com. It's free. You can create your own thumbnails or whatever, right? And then you can upload those. Maybe it's your journey. Oh, today I'm taking, step 1 of my IT career, right? Whatever. And you put maybe a smiley face on Canva, and you put it up on Canva.com. The other thing to do is to obviously just getting started up, right? So let's not throw too many things at you, right? Facebook, everybody's on Facebook. Start there. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is Twitter. So, do the same thing on Twitter, meaning create a content and maybe do it every day. Oh, today I just got done studying, whatever, Active Directory, right? On whatever channel, right? Oh, it's kind of nice. This is what I learned, whatever, right? Blah, blah. And also maybe Instagram. So those are the 3 ones I focus on. And finally, probably LinkedIn. Just to round it out. I mean, look, there's a lot more social media out there, but if you're new to it, it's not going to, I can talk whatever a bunch of them, but if you're not even used to it, you can take it one step at a time, really. But I would say just start with Facebook, right? And like I said, take great images from Canva, import those with some like text or whatever, and maybe then take that same image, same content, and put it over Twitter, and put it over Instagram, and then also put it over to LinkedIn. LinkedIn, that one is a good one actually, right? So LinkedIn is a good one because no matter if you work at Walmart, McDonald's, whatever, sign up for a LinkedIn account. That is most, I think, I don't know, a billion people or something like that are on that website, and they have everybody on. All types of jobs they have on there, right? You even can find your job there, right? So when you go there, look at what other people do. Spend some time. Spend those 4 hours we talked about in a couple episodes ago, where we talked about how to, get ahead of everybody else. Competition, right? What can you, it's a personal thing, right? You may think, oh, well, everybody else has a YouTube channel or everybody else has a Facebook and all that, and that's true, right? But they're not you. That's the thing. There's a podcast to listen to. It's called Flipped Lifestyle, right? And these two individuals, Shane and Jocelyn Sam, they were teachers. They were high school teachers, right? Jocelyn was a librarian, and Shane was a high school football coach and a history teacher. I only know this because I listened to their channel, right? Their YouTube, or not YouTube, but their podcast. And anyway, so in there, Shane is like, what did he say? He said, "You're expert enough, okay? You're expert enough, meaning it doesn't matter if other people are doing it. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. If you do something, you just do that thing that your personality is going to come out, and people are going to attract your personality and say, "Oh yeah, that's really nice," right? And they're gonna be able to read right through you, right? If you're not genuine, right? I mean, if you don't, obviously, right? The thing with me, right, is I don't consider myself like a influencer or whatever. I'm just a person who does what I do. I work in IT and tech and all that, and I like to talk about it because that's what I do. That's literally what I do. Like that, I don't like go home and don't have a computer and turn it off and all. No. I go home and I research. I YouTube stuff. I go on the internet. I look for stuff. All those things, right? I do all the above, really, right? So everything I'm talking about, I've done or I'm doing, right? I think for the most part, except for coding. Coding. What do you call it? Coding. A coding job. I haven't had a coding job. Of course, I'm not a coder. That's one thing I'm not. And I make the distinction between the two, actually, right? So you have a coder, and then you have like an IT person or a tech person. I think there's a difference for myself. I think coding is more the math oriented. I think there's a lot of dedication in that. When you're a coder, I would like to learn how to do it. I like to do it. Getting over the, what do you call it? Getting over the learning aspect of it, meaning it's almost like finding finding like a little thing, like some sort of device or mechanisms. Like, oh, okay, I see now how that works, And for me, that was the C++ course that I had on Udemy. I took on Udemy, right? And wow, as soon as I learned that, right, I took Cold Steel's course, right, on Complete Boot Camp or whatever, and then I learned HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript, and I was like glazed over. Like no idea. I didn't have any context for that, learning that, and so then a friend of mine, Terry Huckleberry, said, "Hey, try C++." Okay, I'm gonna try that. Sure enough, I tried it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really nice. Wow, oh man, that's so cool, right?" And the first time I created a course, I created a program like right then and there, and it was just a program, the C++ program, which was just creating square footage, right? And then of course I put it on my GitHub site, and because that's what you do. If you learn something, you do it, and you teach it, right? Because the more you know, it's just going to help you really when you learn something. Is to teach other folks whatever it is that you know, and that those are a couple of different things, right? I mean, We did mindset, right, and mindset shift and leadership before. This one is just about social media. Social media, introduction to social media, right, really, or social media, the cliff notes, if you will, right, if you want to call it that. But, start with one thing. Start with them Facebook probably, obviously, right? You go to YouTube, I'm sure. So start there. I'll tell you something. When I first started learning or watching YouTube, right, I never made the connection, like, wait a minute, I could create videos too. I never made the connection before. I just had watched the content, but I never thought, oh, I can create it. I don't know I forget what happened when I said, I'm going to do it. I think it was when I started just realizing, you know what, I'm expert enough. It doesn't matter that I don't know everything. Nobody knows everything. Let me just try this, right, and figure it out. And most of the initial videos I did was because I would forget something I did, a setting I had, right? Because I'd install like Commvault, right, for instance, and I would forget maybe 4 or 5 months later because I wouldn't do it. Like, what was the setting there? I don't remember. How did I troubleshoot that? I don't remember. So then I go to watch my video. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I did. Right. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is, you may be asking yourself, how do you record your videos right on YouTube? And if you have a Mac, you have, I don't know, there's programs out, GarageBand or whatever they're called. And then you have, because I don't know how I'm at, right? And then you have Windows, which I used to use what's the program called? Wondershare, SCRM, right? And that was like $60 a year because Camtasia was like $300, right? And I was like, okay, that's enough of that, right? Let me try a alternative version, a lower cost alternative version. And so I tried that and it was great. I used it for like almost 2 years. And then, the audio was kind of not good, right? Meaning I have a Logitech Logitech headset for that. And there's almost like a hum noise, right? You can probably watch some of my videos on your YouTube channel, Gamer Healing IT, my YouTube channel. And you can hear some of that humming sound. And once I started using this Open Broadcast Studio, it was great. I started using that. I'm great. I'm recording now. Matter of fact, I'm recording the audio right now in it. And what I do is I take it over to Adobe Premiere Pro, which I pay $60 a month for that, and I'm able to edit it, right, and then post it on podcast there. But anyway, so the headset I have is an A10. So it's an Astro A10. That's the one I have. And that's what I use to record my video, or my audio, actually. And I also use it to record my video. So the thing about Open Broadcast Studio is you can record a screen, and you can also record sound as well. And that's why I like it, right? It's a multi-faceted tool, and it records in like 1080p and all that stuff, right? Matter of fact, the course I created, if you go to my Udemy course on udemy.com/Gary McNeely, I will link it to the show notes, right? Or my getajobinit.teachable.com. It's the Commvault 11 Beginner. I recorded that actually using the Open Broadcast Studio software. It was really great. It was fantastic, right? But anyway, this is talk about social media, right? So if you're having a hard time with all this, right, take a piece of paper and you're overwhelmed. I mean, who doesn't overwhelm sometimes? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, right, and all that. So just take a piece of paper and then almost like a circle, right? So your biggest content is always probably going to be YouTube, right? It's video and audio, right? So take your biggest content, which is YouTube, put a circle around it, right? Put a YouTube, right? And then put like little arrows, right, on either side, and pointing to, say, Twitter, pointing to, say, LinkedIn, pointing to, say, Facebook, pointing to, say, Instagram. Okay, then that content you get comes from YouTube. You create for YouTube, and then you sparse it out to those other platforms. And on the other side of that, other side of say LinkedIn, or yeah, other side of LinkedIn, Facebook, and all that, have Canva. So Canva is like your what do you call it, your images. You can also create GIF files as well, but you can also create images, and you can put like letters on it, right? It could be you're talking about something. Also, you can create thumbnails. That's another thing I forgot to mention, right? So vidIQ, when you create a video and for YouTube, they always say create a thumbnail, 10-minute videos, 10-minute videos. Create a thumbnail using Canva. Have at least two. Have it on at least two playlists, and have a good, just fill up as much as you can the lines at the very, the description, right? And also the name tags. Have as many as you can in there, right? And then post it up, and then have an end screen. Point it to an end screen, and point it to the other thing, end screen, and there's something else. I forget what it is, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Point it to those two things. Yeah. Anyway, point it to those two things, and you'll be on your way. But if you there's a lot, right? Obviously, right? We're talking a lot of stuff. I've already given you a lot of stuff, right, to talk about or to watch so far, right? I've given you Windows, how to install Windows. I've given you VirtualBox. I've given you niche, like getting your niche. I've given you remote job sites. I've given you develop an accent. Develop a competitive advantage. I've given you 4 weeks, like how to plan your training out, right? Meaning like 4 hours a day, basically, right? I've also given you, getting a job overseas, like Qatar, for instance, right? Or Abu Dhabi or Dubai. Does that make sense to you? And then we talked a little bit about using your brain frequency, like a brain hack, meaning different types of frequency, maybe like classical music or whatever type of music you like to listen to. And then I gave you a quick little tidbit on making a simple program using C++, right? And then finally I talked about the mindset, a mindset shift in leadership. So once again, this is we're talking about how to get started in leadership, or rather how to get started in tech, social media overview using social media, right? So I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this podcast, and have a great day.